Hello, we are live right now, and I'm going to tweet out the link for the group film study, which this is the second time this has happened, but this time we're doing a little bit differently than the first time we've done it because we learned our lessons. I'm joined by a wonderful cast along with me today. So quickly, I think it makes sense to go around and just say who we are, who we write for, sort of our experiences in the past. So I guess, Scott, why don't you start us off?
I'm Scott Karasik. I write for Bleacher Report for the Falcons, NFL Draft, NFL, a little bit of college football here and there. I also run draftfalcons.com. And, yeah, I've been watching the draft for almost 12 years now. Been super focused in.
All right, Jeff?
Yeah, hi. I'm Jeff Risden. I write for Bleacher Report as well. I cover the Detroit Lions. I also run Draft Lions, Detroit Lions Draft, as part of the Draft Sites Network. I also write for RealGM.com and various other places. Been doing this, like Scott, 2004 was my first draft, so we're old timers on this.
All right, and last but not least, there's Cody.
So I'm Cody. I have contributed to Real GM, NFL's Future, a couple other various places. I also kind of got my own thing. It's not really great right now, but it's in the works, draftdudes.com. So, and I've been covering the draft or seriously watching draft prospects for probably, 5 years.
Cool. So basically, just quickly how this is going to work. We did this once in March, and it went really well, where we had like 40 people watching, and like everyone was sort of like giving their ideas of what was going on, and it was really cool. And so, but there were some issues with it in the past where it was only me talking, and I was showing all the videos on my screen share, which doesn't actually work in Google Hangouts, at least not at this point. So we're smartening up a little bit, doing a little bit differently this time around. We're hoping to make it something consistent, so something that everyone can be involved in, and I want as many drafters as possible to take part in this as a panelist. Also on off weeks when you're not being a panelist, just tweeting with the hashtag. So basically what's going to happen is that in a couple of minutes, I'm going to tweet out the link of a player on Draft Breakdown, a tape that we found, and yeah, it's going to be a player that, maybe you've seen before, maybe you haven't, but it's always good to rewatch some of these tapes to learn more about the players. And then once we send it out, we'll all press play at the same time, and then we're going to talk about in real time what we're seeing on the tape, sort of our hot takes. We'll get hot takes on Twitter as well, and then we'll sort of wrap it all up and go on to the next prospect after that. So it's going to be sort of rapid fire. This isn't meant to be a deep dive into any single prospect, although maybe in a later week we could do that. And if you have any ideas for prospects we should watch, tweet them at me with their draft breakdown links. My one suggestion is that do not tweet videos at me that are more than 8 minutes long, because we're not watching 15 minutes of Andrews Pete trying to block people. That's not happening tonight.
Oh, come on.
It's bad TV. So we're not going to be doing that, but we will be doing shorter cuts. And I think we have a pretty good cross-section of players picked out to start with, but we also want you to tweet players at us and tweet observations at us as we begin to go through these players. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to get started. So the first player we're going to be watching tonight is someone who recently sort of has jumped onto the scene a bit. I know Zadarius Smith, his teammate, is somebody who a lot of people sort of like going into the year. But Bud Dupree from Kentucky is a defensive end edge player who really seems to be rising up the proverbial board and has shown a lot in games that people have watched of him. So we're watching Bud Dupree versus Vanderbilt, and I have the tweet ready to go, so just tweeted it out with the group film study hashtag. If you want to click on that video, and then once you click on the video, get it loaded up, I'll say 3, 2, 1, go, and then we can get going. Tweet any observations you have of the group film study player to me or to the hashtag group film study. I have that open as well. And we will be talking through the entire tape on our end as well. So I think that's probably enough time to give them We have a few people already in, so this is good. I'm going to get the tape ready on my end. And then 3, 2, 1. Let's press play.
A little slow on the ball, but plays contain well.
Yeah,
First
that
play.
was something I noticed when I watched him, that he's a little slow off the ball sometimes. But then other times he just is crazy off the ball. Seems to be his counting snap.
He's not really trying to anticipate the snap. It's more like he's got certain play calls.
Look how far up he is.
You see when he's supposed to hold contain and when he's not.
It almost looked like he was playing containment there for nothing.
On the sack, it looked like he was playing contain right there. Yes, let's see video of him snapping his helmet.
Yeah, I think one thing for future editions, I might just like pre-watch these, have some GIFs picked out, and then maybe I could just like post up the GIFs after, because I haven't done that yet. But the GIFs on here take a little while sometimes, but they're great, so it's okay. Let's see.
I do like how he used his hands there to get himself free.
Yeah, stayed square to the line too. I mean, for a D lineman to chase down that wide receiver screen, not bad. I mean, you'd appreciate the effort.
Anytime I watch a Vanderbilt tape, I just think, how did Jordan Matthews not get picked in the first round? So good.
That's a great play right there. Good effort.
That was good backside pursuit.
He missed the tackle, though, and you don't like seeing that. No matter how out of range he is, he still misses the tackle.
Either that was an incredible jump or...
Wow.
Yeah, he was offsides, but
Did
they
he
didn't call it, so take it.
That's good.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
I-
Davis mantra.
Yeah, so this was the game where Wesley Johnson, who's currently, he was picked, who picked Wesley Johnson again?
He was picked in like the 5th round, so he wasn't really picked that high. But
Yeah, and he was picked as a center too, and he will be an NFL center.
Right.
Yeah.
that's a better
Jordan.
fit for him.
Might be able to see why here. Yeah.
The cool thing also is now a lot of these guys have been picked. You can sort of like rewatch them again and sort of see how they work in the context where they were picked. I love just like randomly finding players when we're watching tape like this.
He does kind of eat a blocker if he needs to.
I like what he did in the 3rd and short play. He brought his blocker way outside and freed up the lane behind him. Sort of
And sometimes
self-sacrifice.
that's all you got to do.
Yeah, it's a smart play.
Yeah.
You've seen a little variety already, lining up on both sides, 2-point stands. He dropped back that one time. I like to see that.
Aided double team right there.
Yeah, set the edge, I guess.
Got pulled outside.
Oof. Put on skates, 101.
Yeah, he was. He really got skated out of that one.
He might be better in a 2-point stance in the pros.
Getting a little bit of a Jackson Jeffcoat feel to him there.
Yeah, this is a little 3-4 rendition. Oh, nice little shrug there. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Get him.
Yeah.
Oh, get him.
That's a
get
pretty
him,
play.
get him.
If Ryan Riddle is watching, he loves that play.
Yeah, I've seen that Vine or Jeffed out somewhere. This is a good pursuit, too.
Oh, my God, Jordan Matthews.
Lineman who could chase down a play.
I liked Jackson Jeffcoat, though. I thought he should have been picked a little bit higher than he was, but he's apparently got some injury issues.
I don't think he was picked.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Yeah,
picked.
he did go undrafted. That was the big thing, was that he was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, and he went undrafted when everybody was having a cow about Sam going so late. Sort of a tit-for-tat thing.
Right.
Let's put it this way. This guy's better than Michael Sam.
Yeah, I think that's a safe
Yeah.
assumption there.
He just plays for Kentucky, so he's not going to win SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
I almost wonder if he's asked to play contain. What do we know about this quarterback? Is he a
Austin Carter Samuels is the guy who ran away from Wyoming when future Hall of Famer Brett Smith took the starting job.
I thought that was David Fales. Dude, this guy he scared everybody away, didn't he?
Yeah, Brett Smith. You know,
And he's-
when people saw Brett Smith play,
Currently available to be signed by a team near you.
He should go to Canada. We were talking about this last week on Fetching Draft Next. He should go to Canada for a couple of years, and he could kill the CFL.
He's an AFL player. I'd love to see him in the Arena League.
Nice.
I trust him over any backup in Atlanta right now. I trust him over Jeff Matthews. I trust him over Dominic Davis. I trust him over Sean Renfree.
I will
I
say
like
that
Renfree. If Renfree's healthy, I kind of like him. He had some good games at Duke until Tank Carradine pretty much ended his life. But
I will say, I think that the more that I'm watching Dupree, the fact that we're not really talking about him, it doesn't really. Sometimes when I'm watching prospects, I notice this with other people. When you don't talk about them, that's not necessarily the best thing because they're not really showing up.
yeah, he's getting pushed around pretty good there. He's just having a poor drive here.
Might be tired.
What I like to see when you see something like this where he's being ineffective for a stretch is how well he comes back on the next drive or two. See if he can bounce back.
He does look like he's being asked to play contained, though. A lot more than...
I've not seen any shoulder dip.
Oh, he lost contain there.
Held those linebackers up, though.
Isn't it weird that he lines up closer to the line than his teammates by like half a yard?
Doesn't bug me. But I saw John Abraham do that for like 5 years.
Yeah, you know what? You're exactly right. Sort of a weird thing though that nobody else jumps up with him.
Not sure Bud Dupree is John Abraham though. Oh, I'm done.
Close.
My tape is done.
He's probably closer to Brady Smith or what other mediocre? Lester Archambault.
You're just naming old Falcons. I mean, no,
old Falcons that aren't very good.
I mean, I think that he had some.
Let's do one. That. Let's do Shalik Calhoun versus Andres Pete in a 4.5-minute video.
Is that there? If that's there, I'm happy to pivot to that right now and play that tape. Because again, we are a nimble operation. I'm gonna get it up. But
I just sent it to you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I see it. That's a good one.
Yeah, I wasn't
have two guys at the same.
That's two future first rounders right there.
I know that Sully was watching Pete today and was not very impressed.
Really? I think it's Hank who loves. No, maybe it's Ben Natton who loves Pete.
Ben Natton, yeah, he does love Pete. Some comments from the group film study hashtag that I can bring up. And by the way, you should keep tweeting, getting people to come in because we need more people here. We have a good number, but we still need to get more. We got Draft TJC Tanner Craker saying makes plays all over the field. So I guess that's good. I saw him make some plays. I mean, he's good off the snap. I'll give him that. I think he has like some nice anticipation. Maybe a left end at the next level, not a right end. And then Thomas Christensen at Tom C. Eagle says sets the edge fairly well, keeps his eyes on the QB, but not dominant. Is that maybe some like if we're talking about like old Falcons, bring the old lines and Robert Porsche, or was Porsche a pass rusher? I don't even remember.
Porsche was a Lion.
Yeah, he was a Lion. He wanted to be a pass rusher. He had a couple of pretty strong years. I think he had hamstring issues that kind of hamstrung his career. Bad pun, sorry.
Yeah.
Very bad pun.
Old Lions are interesting to watch.
Yeah. Well, from the 90s, we had some talent. The Millen years, not so much. Yeah.
I actually...
More underrated wideouts.
Yeah. All right, so I got the Calhoun Pete thing up. I think that the general idea on Bud Dupree, and again, this is preseason before he actually played this year, but we think he's okay. We're just not sure we're seeing the first round yet. Maybe not in that tape.
I see a guy who's like, he's going to be a middle round draft pick, a guy that comes in and is your third or fourth defensive end in a rotation at the beginning, and if he looks like he needs to get a little bit stronger in his lower body because he wasn't anchoring very well.
I'd like to see what he can do in a Paul Kruger role.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
I certainly want to see more other than just the one video. He played what seemed like containment too much I don't know, like Jeff said, lower body strength seems like something he needs to work on. Shoulder shrug, hand use. He was, didn't show anything off the burst, off the line, bending the edge, anything like that. So certainly a lot more to want to see with him.
Yeah, and definitely, like, it needs to be stressed. You can't judge a prospect based on one video, especially when it's 5 minutes long. But it is good to sort of, like, get, like, a baseline. And my personal opinion is that the elite players, even if they have a really bad game, they have to flash something to you every time you see them. Like, something, it has to be consistently there if you are going to take a risk on them with a draft pick. That's just my personal philosophy. But anyway, so we're going to do the Shalik Calhoun, Andrews Pete battle. Just maybe as like a point of comparison, I'm going to tweet out the link right now. So now that link is tweeted out. I will say, I think that I wanted to be so impressed by Calhoun, and I haven't really watched that much Pete. I watched a little bit of him, but everyone seems to love him.
He's good. He's definitely good. But is he first round good, or is he like third round good?
And there are a lot of really, really good players on this Michigan State defense. Their quarterback, I don't think, is very good, but I think they have a lot of good players on that defense. Not a Connor Cook fan.
I like
the best thing, this Michigan State defense played so well together. They had such good chemistry. That's something that I think you'll see and watching it too. They really played well as a team unit, which you don't see a lot in the college game because of people coming and going so frequently.
It's true.
All right.
Solid on all levels too. The D line that Bullock would say what he wanted about him as an NFL prospect. He was a good college linebacker, and then of course Bernard and Drummond.
All right, so let's get this started in 3, 2, 1. Oh wow, it's a big circle over both of them.
All right, so Pete wins the first battle.
He's still got some play. Yeah, Ty Montgomery is. We actually have him queued up. He might be next. He's good. I like Ty Montgomery.
Keep an eye on Hogan's delivery. It's bordering Tebow-esque with long.
Yeah, but it's actually somewhat accurate.
That's true.
It bugs me how Calhoun starts on his knees pre-snap. I know it's stupid, but that's something that's always bugged me.
What do you think of this, or just resting?
I don't know. It's sort of, Purdue has done that for years, so maybe it's I don't know.
Purdue. Don't get me started on how Purdue manages their defensive tackles. It's so annoying.
Cost Bruce Gaston a lot of money.
Short love was justified. Okay.
Yes, it was. People said he was lazy when he just wasn't getting any rest. Annoyed me.
Purdue doesn't know what they're doing.
They're going to be better this year. They have to be.
I'll be honest, I don't think Hogan's delivery is that bad.
Andrews Pete is
he's doing pretty well here.
But and this is something that I've seen in a couple of Shalik Calhoun games. I want to be more impressed by him than I actually am. I don't understand what his role is. Where he could excel.
Pete very upright right out of that stance. He pops straight up.
But he still
made himself big. He made himself long. It's Taylor Lewan all over again.
That was a really nice interception. Was that that's the guy who everyone seems to like, right? The cornerback from Michigan State, 15. I don't remember his name is, but I know it's not Dennard. It's the other guy.
Yeah, he's going to get dinged because he's slow too. Same thing as Dennard, but he might even be a better tackler for sure.
Someone on Twitter, tell me number 15 Michigan State's name.
Yeah, I should really know that. I only live an hour and a half away from Lansing.
What's his name?
He's having a good game. Does get high, but his tape is.
Trey Waynes. That's his name.
That's it.
Yeah, I knew I'd heard his name before. That was a nice pick. I have not been watching this battle at all. I need to get better at watching linemen. I'm bad at watching linemen.
That was real nice what Pete just did on that play.
I mean, he wins. He's winning these battles.
He is. Got right into him. Uncoiled with his back up through his hips.
Jeez.
Pushed the power out through his shoulders. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it does seem like Pete is winning the battle.
Oh, easily.
Trying to think of a comparison for Pete, like a fair comparison.
I see Lane Johnson, but I think that Pete's a year ahead of where Johnson was at the same point in their developments.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lane Johnson was not that good at Oklahoma. Was much better at right tackle than left tackle.
I kind of see like a healthy Brandon Albert.
Oh, wow, getting out in space there.
If you want to compare him to another Euro, he's got some Michael Roos there to him, too.
That's a better comparison, honestly.
That's a good, yeah, I like that. Is Michael Roos Estonian?
Yes, he is. He was an Estonian shot putter.
Really?
That's a nice job. That's Travis Frederick would often get real low, almost down to his knees, and still always win the leverage battle. That was nice.
That interior of the line's not holding up against this Michigan State.
That would be David Yankee, who was one of the most overdrafted people simply by the merit that he was drafted.
And I liked Yankee.
I used the comparison, if you took the Stanford off of his jersey and put Indiana on it, nobody would ever even consider drafting him.
Yeah, Minnesota has him, so both of you should be happy about that.
2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, he's going to get demolished by Sue.
David Shaw on the sideline is just like, no.
Unless Minnesota puts him between Khalil and Sullivan.
But again, on this video, none of us talked about Calhoun. It was all about Pete.
Yeah, it was. It was very hard to find Calhoun doing much of anything there.
Yeah, it was just kind of like...
You know, Pete, he looked like he got upright a few times, but he's functional when he does it. It's like Max Starks used to be with Pittsburgh. He's just so big and long that even when he's got bad technique, it takes a while to get around him, and he has a long enough step that he can recover a little bit.
Well, since Ethan doesn't want to watch any more linemen.
No, I'm putting out a suggestion. I think Dante Fowler is somebody who a lot of people wanted us to watch.
Oh, I was going to Denzel Perryman.
People like the sizzle, don't they?
they like no. I think that it was Duval. They like Dante Fowler. I've watched a lot of Perryman, so I'm cool with that. I've just watched a lot of him, so I
did Perryman against the two Virginia schools, and my feeling was that if you liked Ryan Shazier, you're going to like him. If you didn't like Shazier, you're really not going to like Perryman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I liked Shazier, so I do really like Perryman. But I also liked Levante David. I also liked a couple of other... Like, Levante David I thought was going to go in the middle of the second round because he's a 4-3 outside linebacker, though.
Right. Yeah, it's just not an impact position. He's made it as much of one as he could.
Yeah, it's a tough fit to find a 4-3 team that needs basically a Tampa 2 linebacker.
So, super quick before we switch over to Fowler, do we think that... So, Calhoun, do we see... I mean, maybe not in that tape, we didn't see it. Pete, did you see the first round, sort of like why the buzz is there?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I could see it. I can see, aside from the physical tools, it looked like, there were a couple of places where he really uncoiled his power very well, up through his hips and through his shoulders, and that's something that I really like to see. It's something that the NFL loves to see. Obviously, with Greg Robinson was a master at doing that. Pete's not that level, but you can see why teams like him.
Yeah, there's a lot. That was basically one of my more first in-depth looks, of just watching him constantly, and I like the way he's built. His thick lower half, he's got long arms. I like the way he moved to the second level. There's definitely a lot to like there. And he really, Calhoun was non-existent. So.
Yeah, Calhoun, even when I watched him, since I feel the only thing you could really see in that game was the snap burst, I just didn't see it. I just don't know where he fits. He's kind of a tweener right now to me. But anyway, moving on, Dante Fowler has a ton of hype around him. Every time I watch a Florida game, I see him jump out at me. So this will be interesting to actually... I haven't studied him before, actually studied him, so this is going to be fun. So I tweeted out the link.
I have notes on him just from studying the other guys, and he showed up. So, I haven't actually broken him down, but I'm like, I should probably write that down in the old notepad here.
All right, so we're going to do Dante Fowler versus Tennessee in 3, 2, 1. Go.
I'm a little behind.
Oh, this is the guy that destroyed Tiny.
Yeah, and Easley also. Easley was injured at this point. No, he wasn't. His
Yes.
quarter was still ranked at this point.
Fowler's
his
fun
build.
though because they move him everywhere.
Yeah.
Is this the game where Easley gets hurt?
This is the game
I
where
can't
Easley
remember.
gets hurt. Yep.
Yeah. Oh my
and
God.
knocks- Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
oh yeah.
Yep.
That is Anthony
Love
Barr
Dante.
acceleration to the football.
With actual instincts involved.
Look at. Oh, wow.
Unblocked, but destroys it and picks the ball up.
See, I don't.
Because he beat
Yeah.
guard pulling. Who was that? Juwan? No.
That's a Von Miller type play.
James Stone, I think, was trying to pull out there. That was nothing.
Let's put
Yeah.
it this way. Pro Football Focus would give that one a +2.
Okay.
Quarterback, you might want to just eat that and not try to hand that off.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Vern's off of CBS now, right? I'm gonna miss Vern.
No. Is he?
I
Yeah,
think he
he's
is.
tired.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, that's me with the sound. That wasn't anyone else.
And he completely misread his zone read.
Oh my God.
It happens.
It does. It happened to J.J. Watt in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, Cody would know that. Wow.
And sack,
wow.
forced
2
fumble.
fumbles.
Yep. Yeah, Fowler destroys Tiny in this game.
Although I think also that the quarterback needs to know better.
I think Tiny went undrafted too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Tiny went undrafted because
Yeah,
of
he
an
did.
athletic condition,
Yeah.
not because of plays like this.
Juwan James is pretty bad too,
Juwan James is a solid right tackle, though.
but he's not a first round. He should have been a first round pick.
Should have been a first-round pick. Should have been like a second or a third-round pick. But
Yeah, I like their other picks, so I can let it slide. So I liked a lot of Miami's other picks.
Miami had a pretty good draft.
I just
I thought
wouldn't-
so too. I thought they did well.
And he tried playing contain and got held up. It happens.
And VH3 is 15, right?
8 a double team. I love seeing that happen.
Oh,
I do too. Yeah.
Anytime a guy eats a double team and he's continuing to push back to pocket, it's a good play. Completely
this
unblocked.
guy's tape reminds me of Bars in 2012.
Great job slipping that block. I'd like to see him make that play in the backfield, though.
Yeah.
That's one that like a linebacker coach says, great play, but wrap the hell up.
You know what? That's the play that Kyle Van Noy makes that this guy needs to make too.
Great call. Clumsy spin move.
Now he's playing a 3-tech. See how he just destroyed
Oh,
the quarterback there.
Whoa.
He's still going.
He destroyed the quarterback. The ball was fumbled
Yeah,
and
he
the
did.
quarterback picked it up and ran.
So he's already forced 3 fumbles in this game.
Yeah.
I feel like this might be this is
Tackle for
definitely
loss.
his best game, but he's destroying this team right now.
I'm watching
Definitely
it.
his best game,
We're
but
like
he
2 minutes into the second quarter.
Oh, wow.
this
Well, that
is
was
the team
easily-
that had 3 drafted linemen and 2 guys brought into camp this
Yeah.
past year. So it's not like he's going against a horrible line.
Right. Yeah. James Stone is a decent center.
Yeah, Stone's
He's a little
in
inconsistent, but he can play.
Richardson's in Minnesota. Fulton and who are the other 2 guys?
Fulton might start for the Chiefs.
Yes, he might. I've heard they're quite high on him. He got a lot of late buzz in the draft process too. I think people started to look at him a little bit more.
where he hit the quarterback and forced an interception.
Who tackled his own guy? Was that Easley?
Yeah, that was
Probably.
Dumbass.
I like Easley. I like Easley. He doesn't.
Easley is so good at penetrating, but he doesn't know what to do when he gets in the backfield half the time. That's what my issue
Oh,
with him
another
was.
missed tackle.
Dude,
That
if
is something.
Fowler could just learn how to tackle, this guy would be Von Miller Part 2.
I'm looking forward to Rajon and Packer camp. He might there's a loaded backfield, but he could do something. He might make the practice squad.
So this guy might be
I
better
like that. That was a great little hesitation move there. Got his shoulder underneath the tackle, got inside it. That's nice.
So yeah. I like the way that they move him everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
This guy reminds me so much of Barr, except maybe slightly a little more flexible. But this tape just reminds me of seeing Barr in 2012 and wanting to see more, and thinking he was the top senior in the country and hearing, or top prospect in the country, and hearing that teams were in the same boat. I just see the same hype on this guy.
Well, the difference is this guy has better instincts from the get-go. And you can see it. You see the better instincts on film.
He kind of slow played that one, but it was a run on the other side, so it wasn't a big deal. He was where he needed to be.
And double team.
Grief, their quarterbacks is awful.
Yeah, this quarterback is not good.
Tennessee doesn't know what a good quarterback looks like. Butch Jones has yet to draft a good one. Or not draft, recruit a good one.
You could call it draft. It's okay, Scott.
Sorry, he was with Cincinnati, so it was like drafting the AAC.
He's yet to pay a good one yet.
Come on, they had Tyler Bray and his sweet tattoo of his name on his back.
And
That was before they had Butch Jones, though. Had Tyler Bray stayed for Butch Jones and like Cordero Patterson and all those guys stayed, that team had the talent.
I like Butch Jones. Butch Jones did a very good job at Central Michigan. I thought he was a very good coach there. Did a good job inheriting Brian Kelly's mess that he left.
He's changed the culture of Tennessee.
You're talking about comparing Fowler to Barr. I think Barr's got a little bit better, can turn the corner a little bit better. I don't know if it's shoulder dip or just acceleration around there, but I think Barr showed me more just from this one game.
You can see now in the last couple of plays, they're finally giving him some help. They're keeping a running back in to chip at him.
And he's still getting his hands up. He's playing active.
I like his motor.
Yeah. His motor reminds me of Devontae Moore.
That's interesting. I wasn't the biggest Devontae Moore fan because I actually thought that, in my tape presented, I thought that they schemed a lot of sacks for him. Whenever I watched him, like half of his sacks, or like 3/4 of his sacks, were because other blockers opened up huge holes for him to run through and just get free run at the quarterback. But I can see that.
He wound up being drafted right where I thought he should be, not in where all the hype was on him a little too early. This guy, Fowler, wow, that was a heck of a game. One of the things you have to do, though, you have to see them at their best and you have to see them at their worst, and then hopefully a middle game, too. So,
Florida State was his worst game.
Which one was?
Florida State. I'd love to see him against Florida State.
I do have a tweet from Lord Draftnik. Reports that Fowler now has technique, is slimmer, and can bend. QB will perish in 2014. So if he has technique and can bend, I mean, we'll see. It has to translate on the field, but them's the reports.
Florida State was his worst game. Had the lowest amount of lowest amount of tackles, least tackles for loss.
I have that game on a DVR.
And then South Carolina wasn't a great game, but they schemed for him all game long.
I actually had a couple more defensive ends slated. We don't have to watch them, though. One of them is the Shawn Oakman tape that Scott and I had already watched, where we just saw the other guy jump out to us.
Yeah.
I want to do that one.
What was the first Shawn Oakman game that was up on Draft Breakdown? It made me fall in love immediately.
I think it was Iowa State.
Yes, Iowa State, yeah. I really, that game, I don't know, opened my eyes to him. I really loved that.
The game that
you guys want to watch, that's perfectly fine, obviously.
Yeah, no, the game that we're going to watch is, and also we have another comment about Trey Waynes. Speed's not an issue with him, apparently, according to Looking for Strange on Twitter. So we'll see about that.
Nice handle.
I like that, too. But no, Shawn Oakman versus Texas Tech. Scott and I were watching this game on Kvetching Draftniks this week, and all of a sudden, the other defensive end just jumped out to us. Jamal Palmer is his name.
Yep.
Haven't seen him.
Okay. So we're going to watch this game. We're going to see what we think about these two defensive ends. What number is he again?
Spoiler alert, I've compared Shawn Oakman to Tyson Jackson.
I'm just double checking.
I wouldn't mind seeing Shawn Oakman as a 5-tech role, though. That makes sense to compare him to Tyson.
You guys think he's a legit 6'9"?
No, I thought I saw
Probably
somebody tweet out
6'7".
6'7" or reported to camp like 6'6" or 6'7", which is still obviously huge, but
All right, I'm going to tweet out the link. There we go. So, yeah, let's give it 1 second. But yeah, no, Fowler, so good. He is good.
What was the question I asked? Wasn't Shawn Oakman supposed to be the good one?
Yes. Yeah, I think
Ouch.
people probably have it open by now. So let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. Gus is calling this game too.
Oh, I'm glad I have it on mute.
Hold on, it's taking me a minute to load.
I like how the first play of the game is at their own 6-yard line on defense.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign. Oh my goodness! The lefty pass.
There's
Jason Morrow
Jace.
with the touchdown.
That was one of Jace's best catches, I thought. That was a nice catch by him.
blocks. He could have got his hands up.
Oh, there's Palmer with his first tackle in the game.
Double team.
He just stood there with that double team. He didn't try to do anything. He just stood.
Gets demolished on the screen.
And there's the end around. That was a good play by the corner.
Oh,
Just
hey,
trying to
look, number
walk him back.
92.
Damn, was that on Dimitri?
If Dimitri Goodson ends up, I like that pick so much.
I like.
But I think part of it's a sentimental factor.
Oh,
I remember.
snap. He just got slammed.
Yeah, he did.
Playing too high. Keep some weight down, young man.
Now you understand what I meant?
Definitely.
Isn't he supposed to be good?
Can't protect his legs there. That's the second time I've seen that.
Was that Lackey with the strip? We still don't know why he didn't get drafted, right? Like I thought they showed up like every game and no one talked about him in the draft process.
Who are we talking
It's
about?
weird.
That white linebacker?
Eddie Lackey, yeah.
Yeah, Ozzy didn't make plays, but get out there, big man.
You know, on that play, he actually showed a little bit of recognition, but he just stood there.
I'm going to get back to this.
That was a play just to throw his arm up there to bat that down.
Yeah, that was a nice recovery. And there's Dimitri.
I predict he makes the team. I think he makes the Packers this year.
I think Dimitri could start. I like him.
We got some.
Look at that half-ass pursuit.
Corners.
This is really disappointing tape.
He got stood up too.
I mean, he's going against a guy that might make a practice squad. Might. And he's getting pretty well eaten up here. And some of it is his own doing. He's just not... There doesn't seem to be a lot of motivation or drive on him here.
Yeah, disinterested almost this game.
Yeah.
Kind of going through the motions.
It's like watching a tall, skinny Nick Fairley.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that you haven't gotten more criticism for saying that they should trade Fairley than you did.
I've been on Fairley. I was very angry when they drafted him, and have... You know what? He's going to make a lot of money. I just pray it's not in Detroit. He's going to have a great year, though, this year. You could see him get 10 sacks and 45 tackles, force 5 fumbles. And somebody will pay dearly for that, and I'm just hoping that's not the Lions. Get us to the playoffs one year, fat man. And then, although, to be fair, he's down to like 290, 296 right now, so... He looked good the other night throwing out the first pitch at the Tigers game, too. A lot better than Mr. Rapper, who can't throw.
Mr. 50 Cent?
There goes.
Yeah,
Palmer.
that's his name. I know nothing about rap or hip-hop, so try to stick to football.
Neither does most of draft Twitter. They just claim to. Myself included. We don't actually know anything about rap.
That's my genre I listen to. I listen to rap.
Justice claims to know things about rap. He doesn't know anything about rap. Yeah, this tape was definitely very disappointing. Because Zach picked it, right, Scott? When we were watching it?
Coverage. Woo!
Yeah, I thought this was supposed to be a good one. And it was just like,
Up there he goes, splitting double teams.
oh, look, there you go. There's a tackle. There's a play made 6 minutes into the film.
Am I in front of you guys? I just saw him get held up.
No, that was Palmer who made that play for me.
Oh.
Not Oakman.
No, this was the second film we saw of Oakman. Because I think we saw him against Oklahoma and he got raped.
God, when he's that big, he should be walking back that offensive tackle, and he's just getting stonewalled.
Yeah.
And it's not like Texas Tech has a great offensive tackle or anything.
My tape's done.
Yep.
He's just not very good. I mean, he flashed in the Iowa State game. I agree with that. I think that was his best game of the three because now I've watched all of them. But I'm just not sure that I see yet. I said it on Correct Your Draftings. I think that right now he's at the same level that Aaron Lynch was this year.
Do we want to do a quarterback?
Do we? I have a lot of wide receivers queued up.
Do it.
If we want to do wide receivers, we could do a quarterback.
Who's the wide
If we
receiver?
really want to. We could do Connor Cook if we all want a good laugh.
Nah, I'm okay with that. Who's the wide receiver?
I have Ty Montgomery versus California where he went pretty ham. I think that one's good. I have Jaelen Strong against Notre Dame queued up.
That game live, that was a good game. In fact, I like a lot of Jaelen Strong.
Yeah, Jaelen Strong's someone a lot of people have talked to me about, and I haven't gotten to watch a lot of them. So I think let's do that. So I haven't watched like any Jaelen
I made
Strong.
a point to watch all of those games live. I liked that offense actually quite a bit.
So like
Strong
Taylor
versus
Kelly.
Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Oh, and he's got the Calvin Johnson number.
Sorry about that, guys. My laptop decided to spontaneously combust. It started having smoke come out of it, so I'm on the backup one now.
Oh my! Wait, really?
Yeah, seriously. Not good.
That is not good. Spontaneous combustion is not a good sign.
Yeah.
So out of the defensive linemen that we watched tonight, I'm guessing that we thought that Fowler was the best by far.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Oakman. That's awesome.
All right. So, yep.
What are we watching?
We're watching Shawn Oakman. Not Oakman. We're watching Jaelen Strong versus Notre Dame.
All right. Give me a second here. It's coming up.
I thought him and Kelly had a lot of chemistry on back shoulder throws throughout the year. It was James Jones and Aaron Rodgers-esque almost. I think this is Jaelen Strong's first year of Division I. He was JUCO transfer. I was super impressed.
Yeah.
All right. So let's give it one more second. So Oakman or Dupree? I think a lot of them, like Oakman, Dupree, Calhoun, like all of them, they're pretty highly touted, but maybe a little bit more name over substance right now. Like I don't know how in like the preseason you could put any of them as like first round locks.
Fowler's the best out of all of them. I think you got Fowler and you got Beasley as your first round locks, and I really like Beasley.
I don't think you can compare Dupree and Oakman. I think Oakman's ultimately a 5-tech in the next level, and Dupree, I mean, you could probably put him at 3-4 outside linebacker or 4-3 end, but I think Oakman ultimately goes inside, at least in 3-4, plays 5-tech.
All right, let's get this started. Jaelen Strong versus Notre Dame in 3, 2, 1, go. And Mayock is on, so I'm going to mute it.
Oh, hey, a slot guy.
Big slot guy.
I like seeing big guys line up in the slot.
There's Marion Grice. Taylor Kelly has a weird hitch in his throw,
There you
too.
go. That was pretty solid.
I think he's going on Bennett Jackson in a lot of plays in this game. Bennett Jackson was drafted
Yes, he does.
in like the 5th, I think.
He's a guy that I've seen. Bennett Jackson would have done much better. He did not have a very good Shrine Game week.
It's interesting how those things sort of come into play for certain players, not for others. Because I heard Philip Gaines had a really bad Shrine Game week.
You know, when you run a 4-2 something, it helps out.
And his tape was as good as Philip Gaines' tape was. It does help out, too. That wasn't nice. Oh, well, I was broken up.
It matters more for guys from, like, Lindenwood than from guys from, I don't know, Rice.
Well, clearly it didn't that much for Desir because he didn't get picked to the late 4th.
Yeah, and he was going to go undrafted.
I guess, but I still think he went a little bit too low.
Nice.
Oh, go up and get it. I like that.
No pun intended.
I was thrown behind him, and he still adjusted for the ball. That's a tough play to make.
What's wrong with that?
That is like a linebacker I think he's going against, though. I will say that. He doesn't seem like he's very fast.
There wasn't a ton of separation there either, but if you make the catch, it doesn't matter, I suppose.
Yep.
And pushing a linebacker into an offensive tackle is never a bad blocking play.
No, I was just thinking that me likey.
That was a great catch by whoever that was.
Yeah, 82, right?
Yeah. Great
Yes. Google him. I mean, those are the kind of plays that they show up, and I'm like, oh, you're someone to keep an eye on in like 5 years. Or I guess more like 2 years or 1 year, but that's what happened to me with actually a Purdue defensive lineman, Ryan Russell. He really shined when I was watching short, but I think now he's like put on like 40 pounds. He's completely switched positions.
I think we talked about that before. He stuck out to me during one of the shorts tapes too, but I didn't hear much about him last year at all.
I think he's 270 now. He was like 230 when I watched him.
And this is a touchdown.
There we go.
You know, you can just see a pass be thrown, and it's got just enough under it. You know the receiver's going to catch it.
Yeah, untouched, right out of the slot. See ya.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think that's Collinsworth's kid who we just burned.
All you had to do was catch it.
That's Austin Collinsworth. It's safety who he just burned.
Who's that? Chris Collinsworth's son?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Whatever.
I kind of like when I watch this guy play because he doesn't have that great speed, but he does have the good hands and body control. He kind of reminds me of like Jarvis Landry. I kind of see same team. I see Landry a little bit because I sort of see like the extension and the ability to sort of like go up and get passes in tough positions. So that's something that impressed me with Landry. But Strong is bigger than Landry, right? He's like a couple of inches taller.
7, I think. Yeah.
Brian Hartline's like 6'3", 205. That's what I was thinking.
Number one receiver to be able to turn that corner on that guy trailing him like that.
I mean, he's
Brian
like
Hartline
a
is not
fifth round guy, but
6'5".
he's a contributor to a team.
Oh, Kelly didn't even look his way. Prince Shembo must be his only good game this year.
I was not a fan of that pick, but they're moving him to inside linebacker, so I'm okay with it now.
It was weird with the character thing, but we've already gone over that like 10 times.
I think they let Weatherspoon go after this year, honestly. Unless Weatherspoon just balls out and stays healthy, I think he's gone.
Your Desmond Southward pick, that was hysterical.
I like Jaelen Strong, I gotta say. Oh, Marion Grice.
Oh, Grice.
Making some guys.
Strong. Oh, man.
Yeah, look, Strong made a block.
99 yards.
But who cares? He made a block.
Right,
this is where the 99-yard touchdown
Oh,
catch
God.
starts.
Oh,
Never mind.
That was terrible. All right, that was good. That actually surprised me. We're doing Ty Montgomery next because I kind of want to compare and contrast the two. I think it'll be interesting, but that was pretty good by Strong. What do you guys think?
Montgomery versus who?
Cal.
Okay.
He destroys them. It's gonna be fun. I was watching it earlier today. It's a fun thing.
Brian Hartline. Take him in the 4th or 5th round. He's going to be that good number 2 for you. He's got a spot on an NFL team. I'll put it that way.
I like it more than I liked Chris Durham. You know what? He kind of reminds me of who's the guy in Tennessee? Nate Washington. He's bigger than that, obviously, but he seems like he plays the same sort of role to that offense. The way he catches the ball, the way he sets up his moves and everything. Sort of plays a little bit smaller than his size. But I agree. I like what I saw there.
I'll stick to
He's got a spot on a team. It's just where is it?
I like them. I've watched a couple of the other games too, and the way he can high point the ball, and he's pretty tough after the catch, but he's not going to blow anyway with speed. So I like liking him to him, and I'll stick with that for now.
All right, so I actually think go a little bit higher. I could see him going around 2. I can see myself giving him a round 2 grade if he continues to produce this year. Because he reminds me a bit of Landry, and I had that sort of grade on Landry. But Ty Montgomery time. This is a fun one. Ty Montgomery versus Cal. I think you will enjoy this tape. And this is a guy, remember, he's 6'2", and 205. So he's the same size as Jaelen Strong. I believe. I'm just going to double check that to confirm. And actually, while I'm doing that, who was number 82 in Arizona State? Yeah, 6'2", 216, actually.
Was that the tight end, Chris Coyle?
I don't think Coyle was 82, was he? Let me check.
Don't know.
Because I really liked Coyle coming out.
Might have been Coyle.
He reminded me a lot of Chris Cooley.
It was... Oh, this website is not optimized very well. Yeah, I think it was Coyle. Good call. Good call. Good friggin' call. No, it wasn't Coyle. Coyle 87. It was somebody else. I don't know. It was somebody who isn't on the team anymore. Anyway, moving on from that. Let us do Ty Montgomery versus Cal, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. Play 1. Oh, there is boop.
And good vision and touchdown. Okay.
That didn't take long.
All right. And around. Touchdown. Can't complain. Just kind of...
So, again, this guy is 6'2", 216. I just confirmed it.
He wasn't touched. Had a wide open hole and just did everything that he was supposed to do there.
Lining up in the slot again.
This time he's going to catch a pass.
Oh my God.
Hey, there you go. And this one's a touchdown.
So that's 2 touchdowns on 2 touches.
I watched this game live.
He might have touched the ball previously though, because he is a return man, isn't he?
They would have shown
Yeah, I
that.
think so.
Hey, look.
I don't think he returns punts, though.
He destroys the safety in this game.
And there's touchdown number 3.
And another touchdown.
It is Cal. You got to remember that.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I realize that, but he's destroying Cal.
Here's the
like a guy who's good against a D2 team.
This guy is 6'2", 218. He shouldn't be able to do these things, and that's actually the issue that I have seen with him. His hand technique is really bad. Like, it's as bad as Marquise Lee's.
He needs to spend some time with a jugs machine the way Roddy White did.
But a 6'2", 218 guy should not be able to do this.
He gone.
He's got another touchdown.
No, he's a pretty effortless.
This is like a Madden game.
It does look like a mad game. I will say this: he doesn't cut very quickly. He tends to decelerate just a little bit, but he's so darn fast after he does it that it doesn't really hinder him that much.
He's got some Mike Evans to his game, like in the short area. But once he gets up to speed, he's very.
I think if Brandon Cooks could go top 25, this guy's better than Brandon Cooks.
Oh
He's
yeah,
certainly bigger. Offers a lot
Bigger, and he runs
bigger of a target.
he gives you at worst a possession receiver.
Oh, that's a nice touchdown.
He reminds me a little bit of Brandon Marshall.
See, I don't agree with these comparisons because I don't think, and we haven't really seen it yet, but he hasn't had to high point anything. He hasn't actually to go up and get any passes. And when he does, he isn't great at it. He's okay, but he's not awesome. I think his game is just sort of like working the intermediate part of the field and just making things happen after the catch and also getting open down seams. Sort of like being a very, very, very high-end number 2. I think Nuke Hopkins might even make sense as a comparison.
I really like the way that he attacks the cushion off the snap. He goes right at it. No dancing. He's gone off that burst. I love that.
Yep.
No hesitation. No false steps.
Even though it's Cal, he looks like a man among bulls.
That's a receiver who doesn't respect his opponent.
Was he open? Nice throw.
The safety bit on the curl fade or on the curl route too.
You sure that's not Chris Connie still playing at Cal?
I was going to say that was a bad pass.
Cal's not exactly known for their great safeties. I should realize that from Thomas DeCoud's day.
Hey, he had one bad year.
Yes, but he never learned how to tackle.
That's true.
That's a good.
See that the hands catching thing. That was a gutsy throw by Hogan, but Montgomery's got to come down with that.
A bit of an underthrow, but they destroy. Yep, and touchdown number 4.
See, the thing is that he does every single thing well, and he's 6'2", 218.
So he destroys this guy. Good route running.
We're doing Greenberry.
Just enough, and has both feet in. That's a touchdown in the NFL. Against, like, Chris Houston.
That's it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was fun.
I've been watching more of Pete in this too because just not a lot of competition for Montgomery, and Andres Pete's having a darn fine game too. Sort of ancillarily in the action.
But again, it's Cal.
Right.
But they did destroy. Just destroy him.
Yeah, no, that was a slaughter. That was what you expect.
No mercy for the cross-country rivals.
Guys to just do to all of their cornerbacks they have to face. And he did it to an ostensibly FBS team. And next up, and I'm just going to take ownership of this because we got to watch my other favorite receiver in this class so far after Ty Montgomery. We're going to do some Deontay Greenberry versus Rutgers. And there are some catches that Deontay Greenberry makes in this game that are absurd. And I want to see if you guys agree with me that there's a little bit of A.J. Green when you're watching Deontay Greenberry.
That's high praise right there.
The way they play, it just reminds me, it just makes me think of watching him over again. And also it's John O'Corn, who is going to be tough. He might be this year's Tom Savage if he decides to come out. Because he might get talked up way too much.
Deontay Greenberry, wide receiver, Houston.
So remember, Deontay Greenberry's backstory, he was a top-tier recruit. Like, everyone wanted him. He was very, very hyped. He decided to stay close to home in Houston. And he's really sort of made a name for himself there.
Go Cougs.
So, I'm so excited. I love watching this.
They have some serious talent on the defensive side of the ball. They have a very good aggressive secondary that's going to put a couple of players in the late rounds too.
Are there any particular names that you have noticed?
Not really. They just I can't think of it off the top of my head.
All right, so let's watch Dante Greenberry versus Rutgers. The game starts off a little bit slow, but then there's a point, and you'll know when the point is when it begins to amp up a little bit. So a lot of time to watch other players too. Let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. They have another player who I think is good too. I don't remember his name, but he shows up a lot in this tape. I think his name is like Joshua something.
We won't get to see him in this game, but their punter, Richie Leone, was very good too.
I know about this much on how to grade a punter. Can he kick the ball hard? Yes. Can he kick the ball far? Yes.
Can he get it off quick? Can he turn the punt over? Yeah. Can he pin it inside the 10? That's fun to scout punters. It's a nice little breather. I only do like 2 or 3 a year. Leon happened to be one. It's because I lived in Houston and I went to the Houston Rice game and saw him, and he just destroyed Rice.
Again, I wish I cared about punters.
You ride him as much as a punter could.
There's a first down.
And that was also a game where Chris Boswell did one of his onside trick kicks for Rice, so it was a double whammy thing. You know, specialist day.
I think more teams should do the onside kicks that like Oregon does, where they like put the ball like on its side and just kick it. It makes so much sense.
On him at times where.
Oh, there we go. Running back.
Should have been Charles Sims.
Yeah, this game starts off a little bit slow, and then some of the Greenberry plays amp up. This is a GIF you've probably seen a couple of people tweet out. He makes in the end zone in this game. It's pretty nice. And then he also has a couple of other big plays.
Yeah, you're right. It is a little slow. You're not seeing much here.
Yeah, because other than the fact that
not seeing much out of anybody really. There's not a lot of. It looks like a good FCS game.
Yeah, the thing is that O'Korn, the quarterback, he's going to get a little bit of hype this year, I think. From what I see, he really just sort of dumps the ball off to his weapons and lets them do all the work. And when he is actually asked to do something more than that, he falters. But playing with Greenberry also helps him out a little bit. But there he is in the end around.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing, this one I noticed with AJ Green too, neither of them break a lot of tackles. Greenberry's not going to be like the Sammy Watkins, make you juke, make you miss, or the Julio Jones, get off me son type of receiver after the catch. That's not going to be his game, which is fine because he excels in other ways.
I'm just happy we're watching Rutgers and I don't have to see any Gary Nova throws.
Have you seen the Wrecking Ball video?
No. No, but I can imagine it's awesome.
It's really great.
He's just really, really bad.
Yeah, Aaron Johnson, number 14 for Houston, jumped out to me a little bit. I think that's his name.
That's a decent little stiff arm. Got himself an extra yard or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's him. He's not the one.
In the bubble a lot when he starts. Is he primarily in the slot, or they've been moving him? Oh, he's probably.
They move him. Oh, I think this is the play.
Yes, it is.
It's coming up. It's coming up. Here we go.
Plucks it over the helmet.
Woo. Oh my God, that is something that not a lot of receivers.
That's pretty.
Yeah, that is good.
And the other thing I love, he flashes hands late too, which is something that I love seeing out of receivers.
Carrying the ball in the wrong damn hand there.
That is. Oh yeah, he was. Jeez, I'm a little behind.
I think I'm a little ahead. That's okay.
And now they bring the Wildcat out. A couple of plays.
If I recall, he had a good game against Central Florida this year, too.
He had a lot of very good games because that offense is so powerful. then they've scored a touchdown in like 30 straight quarters or something like that. I think another big play is coming up in a second. If I am
Yeah,
correct.
I'm a little ahead of you. You're gonna like this.
Yeah. See, this is where I see a little bit of the AJ because he doesn't look like he's running fast.
Catches
Like
that
he's
split
gliding,
seam and he is
and
gone.
I just remember that play from AJ's rookie year against the Browns. I think it
Yes.
was a 10-7 game where he took a 2-yard pass and turned it into like a 50-yard gain after the catch. And then you sort of like combine that with the ball skills that he flashes, the way he can high point at times, and the way that he sort of is able to position his body sometimes, and I just see AJ.
I see a lot of Dante Moncrief here. The good Dante Moncrief.
It's interesting in terms of his ability to like release off the line of scrimmage.
And just the way he's physical when he gets the ball. He's not looking to to juke anybody. He's either going to run past you or he's going to run through you. There's not a lot of wiggle to him. Good in traffic. Not afraid to get a little hit. He's a fighter.
Oh, there we go again.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to break a ton of tackles.
Immediate field though, get north, use your speed. That goes a long way in the NFL. You're not going to dance around anybody in the NFL all day.
Like, I don't think that he's going to end up being like, he's not Sammy Watkins. He's not Julio Jones in terms of how they play. But if I were to compare him to like his absolute ceiling in terms of the kind of style he plays with, he's like an X receiver who can get vertical, who can run every single route, and who can just eat up cushion and turn small plays into big ones. But, he's going to have to continue to develop in terms of being smarter about, like, sort of avoiding situations. Oh, there he goes again. Avoiding situations where he just, like, gets hit a lot. He's not going to make a lot of crazy screen passes turn into touchdowns. He needs a little bit of space ahead of him already in order to make that happen. But if you get him going forward, he has the vision and sort of the subtlety to really make things happen.
That's one of the things that I've noticed is he's got very good vision. He anticipates where the defenders are coming from, what he can do to try to best them.
Oh, there you go.
Oh no, it just froze.
I just got a really long play. He's number 3, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he just had like an 80-yard touchdown where he burned the defense. Ran a perfect post route from the slot and just burned him.
Are you in the middle or at the end?
I'm towards the middle.
Yeah. That happened a while ago.
Yeah, I'm at like the 7:56 mark right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty late. I'm in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. There. Oh yeah. And he held on. That's perfect.
That's your AJ Green play right there.
The play at 8 minutes. That starts at about 8 minutes.
That's your AJ Green play right there.
That's just awesome.
That is called being able to maintain your poise in another one.
That's also kind of a push-off, but who cares?
That is a play that Brandon Marshall did against Darius Slay this past year. Or, I'm sorry, Alshon Jeffrey did it, where Darius Slay played the ball perfectly, had his hand in between the two hands of the receiver, and the receiver still held onto the ball. That's something that you don't see a lot of, and Greenberry did it there.
You know what? I can say that is a quintessential play that you see almost every single NFL receiver that is considered to be an elite receiver. You see them make that touchdown catch.
Absolutely.
That is something that is sort of like if you look at any highlight for any red zone package in a given week, when a team is at, say, the 5 or 6 yard line and they throw it up to that number one receiver, all the number one receivers make that catch, and those are the ones that you see on red zone who get the ball thrown to them in that situation in that same exact throw. And Greenberry proved it again that he did it. I'm really big fan of his. I think he's really good.
I kind of wish I still lived in Houston so I could go see him play again.
All right.
He did not do much the year that I was down there. The Rice game, I think he had 2 catches. So.
All right, so for contrast, someone who I actually I don't know how many more wide receivers you want to do or how many more players you want to do overall. There were a couple of others I had queued up, but we can really end this whenever we want. I did want to say that group film study on the hashtag got a couple of comments. Lord Draftnik saying that Greenberry is his number 4 wide receiver and could end up as number 2. And I want to hear who you have above him, because I don't think that there's anyone in this class who's above him.
It's always hard to do wide receivers though, because all the guys who are going to get drafted high are underclassmen, and
that's true.
That makes it odd.
This year,
I don't like scouting underclassmen till they declare, though.
Yeah,
right. I'm the exact same way. You can't help with some guys, like quarterbacks and running backs, because it's fairly self-evident. But wide receivers, they tend to come from out of nowhere. Like Mike Evans, he was a guy that people saw potential in him, but they didn't see, other than the Alabama game in 12, there wasn't a great deal of good tape on him. And then he blows up against Alabama and Auburn, and all of a sudden he's a legit top 10 pick, sort of from out of nowhere.
All right, so who are we going to do next? I say maybe it's like 9:14 right now Eastern time. We're going for an hour. Maybe we go 2, maybe we go an hour 30, hour 45, we'll see. I have Rashad Green queued up right now, but we don't have to watch him. It's up to you guys. I wasn't the biggest fan of his, to be honest.
Then how about Devin Funchess?
I would be fine with Devin Funchess.
Mr. Funchess. Somebody teach that man how to block.
Well, he's not a tight end anymore. He's a wide receiver.
Probably why they put
He's
him at
Marcus Colston.
He has his. I saw him in person 4 times last year. And 3 of the games he was decent, and the other game against Akron, he was one of the worst players on the field. He could not get free against Akron. Now, he was still playing tight end then, and maybe that had something to do with it. But he did improve as the year went on.
All right, I got Devin Funchess versus Indiana.
I'm down with that one.
Yeah, sure.
I think he actually did really well in this game because I didn't watch it in full, but I watched part of it live. Remember, he got a touchdown.
Then Funchess as pure tight end.
Jake Butt.
Which makes
I'm sorry.
Funnier.
If there was like an all-name team, he would be first-team all-name, but I don't think I could trust a tight end on my team named Butt.
He's a good player.
Yeah, I like Butt.
I like Butt. Nice. You know what? I've heard that he's really cool with it. That he's aware that his name is a walking joke, and he's down with that. So good for him.
Funny? He might end up being like, because I really like him as a blocker. He might end up being like the next Bear Pasco or whatever. Not like a great.
I like Bear Pasco.
Bear Pasco. Who is it? Justin Peele.
Yeah, some of those tough guy. I'd rather knock your head off, but I still will release and get out and catch a touchdown on you if you don't pay attention to
Every
him.
team has their number 2 tight end that's a pure blocker. He's that guy, but he might have some receiving ability in the red zone. That's why I like Jake Butt. He's gonna be that red zone guy, but he'll flash. You'll be like, oh, who's the guy blocking?
Well, anyway then, let's go to the tape. Devin Funchess versus Indiana in 3, 2, 1. Go. And we get to watch Devin Gardner play quarterback.
It's Toussaint.
Oh, Devin Gardner. There's a guy who really, really disappointed me last year.
He took on 2 blockers at the same time, or 2 defensive guys at the same time as a blocker, and he didn't really do anything, but he distracted them, so everybody was happy.
There he is, split out, red zone situation.
And he blocked poorly, but
I mean, he's a willing blocker. You got
He
to give
stayed
him
square
that.
to his target.
Yeah, I like that.
he wants
I'm
to block.
fine
He just
with
doesn't
that.
know how to block.
It's twice.
He's a wide receiver. I'm totally fine with that.
Trying to block him.
He's always, his head is down when he's trying to block. He's not looking at what he's trying to hit.
Hey, look, simple out route, and then went right up the field like he's supposed to.
Getting that yak.
Legs churning.
Dragging people.
Yeah.
Hey, look, 8 yards of just carrying 2 people.
Good Lord. He's got no control when he goes to hit someone on the second level.
This is the game that were like they wound up in the 60s, didn't it? Both teams
Yeah,
scored
no,
like
I
60
think
points.
Funches makes a couple nice plays in this game. There's Gallon.
That was
Oh, yeah,
crazy.
Gallon set a record in this game. Gallon had a huge game. My dude.
And that was a pass.
He's really, really small.
Jeremy Gallon.
Yeah.
No.
Scouts compared him to Steve Smith, I heard. Scouts liked him, and then he dropped in the process.
He's got 28.25-inch long arms. You're not going to make it in the NFL with arms that short.
That was bad by Funches there. He just ran right to his defender, didn't help out Gardner at all.
Yeah, but he boxed him out.
Oh my God, he laid him right into him.
I know, he just backed up right into him. That's what I'm saying.
Ty Isaac's going to Michigan, right?
Oh my God. This number 4 has just made Funches out there.
Oh, boy.
That's Cam Gordon, right? I think that's... I'm pretty sure the Patriots signed him as a UFA. If that's who I think it is.
He just doesn't use his legs when he
Oh, no,
blocks.
he's on Michigan. I'm really, really dumb. Wrong side in this game.
Now there he released. I don't know if I'm with you guys. I'm at the 2:30 mark. The play before that, he released off the line very quickly, got vertical, and broke out of it nicely too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can run routes. Ooh.
Really, Jeremy Gallon? Not Gallon. Really, Devin Gardner? How was that?
Oh, there we go.
And touchdown, Gallon.
That touchdown.
If Jeremy Gallon makes it in the NFL, it'll really prove that anyone can make it in the NFL.
And, yep, Devin Gardner should not be a quarterback.
Oh, is that number 4 again? Who keeps jumping out? Let's see what that guy's name is actually.
Oh, look, Fitz Tucson.
Terrible.
Where did Tucson end up?
He was drafted.
Was he? No, he
Was
wasn't.
he really?
Yeah, I think he was. I'm pretty sure that he was drafted.
I
All
like
right, I'm
Fitz,
looking up
but I
Indiana
wouldn't
here.
draft him. Because he's a running back, and he's like a medium.
Oh, no, he wasn't. He was on the Ravens. He was signed by the Ravens.
He'll probably start for them this year. The way
Number
they were
four is
arrested.
Maurice Harden, linebacker from Kentucky.
How big is he?
He's listed 6'1",
Did Funches get a
225.
touchdown?
Okay.
Nope, we got a first down.
Oh, nice. He can run. He's really, really good at running routes. I'll say that out of all the guys we've watched tonight, he's probably the best at running routes. Because I just always notice how sharp and clean his breaks are.
He's got very quick
pretty
feet on it, which is weird because he doesn't use his feet very well when he blocks.
Oh my God.
There's just not a lot of awareness there either.
I still haven't really seen him in the open field yet, and I feel like this comparison is brought up way too much. Oh, here he goes. Oh, no, that's Gallon. I feel like this comparison was brought up way too much last year with, like, Jason Morrow and a couple of the other tight end prospects, but if he shows that ability in the open field to, like, really make guys miss, it's a little bit of Hernandez. Oh!
He's not Hernandez, though.
No.
Yeah.
You're trying to make somebody. You're trying to find a guy who is so unique.
I agree.
Few people are close.
As someone who watched him before he killed people, I agree. Because the thing that made Hernandez so unique is that he was a huge tight end, but he also was so elusive in the open field. People just couldn't tackle him.
He was like 6'2", 240. He was like Charles Clay sized.
But he played bigger than that, and he was elusive in the open field. He just was a really unique athlete.
Good play by Gardner right there.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter.
Which is rare, to be honest.
I actually thought this game for Funches was going to be better than it's been so far.
That's a good stiff
Oh,
arm.
And there's your make a miss.
Oh, all right, that was nice. He's good.
Legal pick play, no big deal.
He's not Aaron Hernandez, though.
No, he's not.
He's not that fast.
He's, trying to think of a good comparison.
Although Hernandez was quicker than fast.
I mean, I like him as a tight end, just don't have him line up as a blocker every play.
Even at wide receiver, though, he's a liability out there blocking. He needs a lot of work.
Yeah, but as a wide receiver, who cares?
I don't know. You want to at least see some kind of technique out there.
You know what? I'm seeing a little bit of Doran Dickerson there myself. You know, it's sort of a super-sized tight end that's not quite with the physical attributes of a wide receiver.
And Doran Dixon never made it.
He's got great route running though. And
Yeah, he does.
Dickerson
He runs clean routes, and he's not afraid to attack the ball when it's in the air, which I do like, which is something that Dickerson couldn't ever do. At least he couldn't when he was in Houston.
Colston.
I don't think he's that skilled yet. He's got a lot of time, though. He's still young. He's only like 20. I think he just turned 20.
He's someone who I think after this year, it'll be intriguing to see how he matures, for sure. All right, so who next? Do you guys have any suggestions? I'd say maybe a couple more.
Destroy some people?
Todd Gurley?
Just for fun?
Sure. We'll do Gurley. Let's do Yeldon first, and then we'll do Gurley.
Oh, don't make me watch Yeldon.
I'm just joking.
That's how I feel about Yeldon.
He's so meh. He's like James Starks almost.
Do you want to do Gurley versus Florida so we can watch all the Florida guys again?
Let's do Gurley versus Clemson.
Oh, so we can watch Beasley and Grady.
We can see a little bit of Beasley in there.
All right.
I'd rather watch Mike Davis than T.J. Yeldon. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I think Davis might be the best back out of that class.
So I know there's a lot of hype about Mike Davis. And I watched him. I think he's good. I don't understand why people think he's the best back out of this class. I mean, he's a good running back, but like, is he? I don't think he's that different than Devontae Freeman, to be honest.
I think he's a lot different than Devontae Freeman. He's a lot bigger. He's very similar to Michael Turner circa 2008, when Turner was good and a workhorse and like basically led the offense. Only he's got receiving ability that Turner never had.
That is true. He can catch the ball well out of the backfield.
I'm not sure David's thick in the lower half as Turner is, but I like the comparison as far as running style.
The only other person who's ever been physically as thick as Turner in the lower half, though, is Jerome Bettis.
I think MJD is pretty thick in the lower half.
Yeah, but he's like 5'6".
Ray Rice too.
Still thick.
I'm just saying these guys are tiny. Like, I'm saying not any of the pocket hamsters or what is it, mini Hercules or whatever the nicknames are.
I think Lacey's comparable, but probably still not as thick as Turner was or is.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, to get a guy who's like 5'10" and up to have those thick trunks, right. He's probably going to play like defensive end, not running back.
Anyway, we got the video out. Todd Gurley versus Clemson.
All right.
So this is going to be fun.
For one side of this.
In 3, 2, 1, go. He is really
started
good.
This game with like 3 different players. So, like total recall.
You've seen this game a couple of times.
Yes, I have.
I don't know, you always learn something new when you rewatch this.
They don't really design.
He did fumble there. Was it after the play?
They called him down.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
This was the fun play.
Oh God. What can you even do? I mean, I have noticed that he runs very upright. But that's something that a lot of really good running backs do, and then they get coached to fix it.
That is good blocking. Whoever ABC just highlighted it out, but I mean,
I think one of those is Lynch.
Poor 27. Think you have the angle and just get toast. That's not good.
He's a 6'2", 240-pound back that runs a 4.4.
It shows.
Mm-hmm.
So you think he's a first-round pick?
Oh, easy.
Yeah, he's
with the kind of track record that we've seen with some sure thing first-round backs, just not.
The only question is injury.
I think that's going to swing back a little bit. I think you're going to see, especially if guys like Carlos Hyde and Bishop Sankey, who are second-round picks, wind up having really good, strong early careers. I think you're going to see that where people will take a chance on a guy. I think they'll see more that it is just Trent Richardson just not being very good.
That's true.
And the thing is, you see him going up there and he pass blocks. He's not afraid to sit there and, go against the blitz or. Oh,
I was
that's
Grady
bad.
Jarrett off the snap.
I just like the way he's got that little, even though he's a bigger dude, he's got a little bit of wiggle to him, and he can do it when he's at full speed. That's impressive.
Is that like the longest ever developing counter you've seen?
It wasn't a counter. It was a
Oh, miscommunication on his part.
That was a miscommunication. Death Valley is loud, so there were a lot of miscommunications that game. Like, he'll get stopped at the line and he'll still somehow get 3 yards. That's why I compare him a lot to Steven Jackson with better speed.
I do think that the thing that there we go. His vision is pretty good, which is also good. I think he has better vision than the likes of Melvin Gordon, who I know other people really seem to love, and better vision than Trent Richardson, which should save him from there.
That's not saying a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I just have a
get your
thing
point.
about taking running backs super early in the draft because out of the top 25 highest paid running backs since 2000, only one of them has actually won a championship with his team, or even made the Super Bowl, to be honest. I did this study because I was looking this up for Matt Waldman, and it wasn't. It was Lynch. No, it wasn't Lynch.
Reggie Bush.
It was Reggie Bush.
In New Orleans.
It was Reggie Bush. And then, of course, Bush, he was still on his rookie deal, and then he didn't get re-signed. So pretty much you're conceding if you take a running back in the first round, unless he turns into Adrian Peterson, in which case, more power to you, that you're only going to get him for one contract.
I forgot how fun this game was to watch.
This was
There's
a fun
lot
game.
of good players in this game.
Mm-hmm.
It actually, going from Houston Rutgers to this,
It's a huge talent difference.
oh,
You can see it on the guys who aren't the stars. They're still so much better than anything
Another
that
big
Houston
knock.
Rutgers has.
Yeah, he had like 4 runs for over 25 yards in this game. He's a guy who's a big play waiting to happen, but he'll still get 3 or 4 yards every
Mark
play.
Richt should not still have a job at this institution of higher learning, though.
That's nice.
He should be fired.
For a big guy, he's pretty good in the open
Mark
field.
Richt.
Why?
Because he's an awful coach. If you can't take this team to championship, I don't know what to tell you. And he's
It's tough to
always
do.
underachieved. Every year he's underachieved.
He's Mark Richt. Now, I got a Mike Davis film. Mississippi State was a fun game for Mike Davis.
I say that we watch Mississippi State bring it home with that.
That sounds good.
Last game of the night will be Mike Davis, Mississippi State. Can you just link it? Oh, there we go.
I
Thank
just
you.
sent it to you, man.
Cool.
All right.
This has been great, and definitely anyone who watches this, give us comments of how you think this could be better. I think that definitely having more voices has helped. Thank you guys for coming on tonight. I'm hoping next week we get a whole new set, and y'all will be back on again at some point. But just like to get more people sort of involved. I think that would be great. It's always good to just have as many voices as possible involved with stuff like this, so people can get their chance to have their perceptions heard, which is cool. So yeah, we got Mike Davis from Mississippi State. We're gonna end the night with this little 445 gem.
Not to be confused with the Mike Davis, the pedestrian wide receiver from Texas.
He was really he's bad.
You mean the practice squad wide receiver from Texas?
If he's that good, I'm not even sold that he's that good.
Man, he flashed for me. I thought I saw some stuff that I really liked out of him.
I think Alex
I
Brown.
think you can teach him how to be a gunner.
The sad thing is, I think that there's a defensive tackle on that team who was faster than him.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a lot of giddy up to his game.
Yeah, Chris Whaley could outrun him probably.
This Mike Davis cannot run him.
All right, we're gonna start with Mike Davis. 3, 2, 1, go.
And you'll get to see how horrible of an offensive coordinator Steve Spurrier really is.
That's good pass protection there.
Yeah.
I like him stay on his feet a little bit better, but
Oh, I loved Connor Shaw.
Connor Shaw
Oh,
scored
look.
really well when I actually tried to statistically measure him. I did this thing where I weighted quarterback size and density with third down conversion percentages, and that was nice from Mike Davis. Third down
That was a
conversion
nice run.
percentages
Finished it too.
and something else. Oh,
Oh, he finished
touchdown
every-
minus interception percentage. And Connor Shaw was the top performing quarterback in this class.
Chris
And the
Ivory.
third top performing quarterback of the past 6 years behind Cam Newton and Russell Wilson in that study. It was Newton, Wilson, Shaw, Luck, and Teddy were the top 5.
Well, Shaw was an undrafted free agent signed by the Cleveland Browns. So
I like Johnny Football.
maybe he starts.
Yeah, well, as long as Johnny Football Swan doesn't pop from under him, I think he's okay.
Shaw's game against the Badgers in the bowl game last year was ridiculous. Bruce Ellington's too. Those guys just lit up the Badgers.
Mike Davis has one play where he runs for 90 yards. I don't think it's in this game, but he
Bruce
just
Ellington is somebody who I understand why people like him, but I have a feeling he's going to underwhelm people in the NFL. Oh, Connor should have caught it and thrown it back to Davis.
so lateral at that point.
I mean, I think that the referees, if I was the referee, I would have just given them a point for effort. I would have looked past the penalty. And South Carolina is another running back I like, too. They have Wilds. I like him, too.
He's okay.
He's big and
Yeah, I like him
fast.
too.
I like Pharaoh Brown more than I like Wilds.
And the running back for Mississippi State is actually pretty good, too. Hansbrough.
And Ladarius Perkins.
Yeah, he's also got invited to Packers camp.
Perkins.
Yep.
I like Perkins a lot.
I liked him in the preseason because I liked his height-weight profile compared to the other running backs in this class, because this was a pretty underwhelming class, to be honest. But he didn't really flash me when I actually watched him. Oh, there we go.
Perkins reminds me of, yeah, there you go. There's the big long run. That's one thing about Davis is he'll break a long run pretty much every game. Exactly like this. There's some shake
But
to
he's
his
not
game.
early.
He's not girly, no, but he's Michael Turner, 2008.
I could see that. I could see a little bit of a Ray Rice in him, too.
Minus the whole
Minus
size.
him beating his wife.
Bigger than Rice, though. He's 5'11".
Oh, I like that play. Running a wheel route?
See, yeah, that's the thing. He can do it all. He's not just a... Probably sound like a fan here, but he's not just a basic runner. He can catch the ball out the backfield.
That was the open.
He's a better
That
receiver
wasn't-
than Gurley.
I hope that wasn't Justin Cox in coverage. I like Justin Cox. I have to watch more of him, but he's someone that scouts are really high on.
Turn it up. There you go. Nice cut.
Oh,
South Carolina's got some weird blocking schemes.
Isn't there
That
left
was a
hand?
double
that was a
pull.
bad play call.
You really get frustrated with Spurrier like halfway through the game, even though they're winning.
All right, I'm done. He's good. I mean, I don't know. Ah,
Put it this way, I have a higher grade on him than I had on Bishop Zenke.
oh yeah, I agree with that. I think I could see him sneaking into the late first if a team felt really strong about him. He's a little like Gio Bernard.
I think
Easily.
Gurley goes first for sure, and then the other one I think Gordon has a shot just because he's gonna run probably a high 4.3, low 4.4. and he's a big play waiting to happen, home run ability. We'll see if he can catch this year or pass protect. Without James White, he's going to be asked to do a little bit more of both. So
Yeah, I think Gurley definitely sort of reigns supreme for me too. And then probably after that, I would go with. I really like Gordon, but Davis is good. I'm just not sure that a lot of running backs with Davis's skill set, like it or not, have gone round one before. Maybe like Donald Brown, just like with like the entire combination of things. Maybe with sort of like the sum of the parts being stronger than the actual like individual skills he brings to the table. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting running back class to keep an eye on.
it's much better than a couple of years in this past year, that's for sure.
And then Duke Johnson is one too, who I'm a big fan of. But anyway, Jeff had to leave. So we are out. Thank you for coming, Cody. And thank Jeff for coming too. Thank you, Scott. This has been great. First time we're doing this again. We're going to try to do this every single week. Maybe we'll switch it up a little bit over the next couple of weeks. But this was your group film study. Feel free to tweet at us any thoughts, or if you want to be on next week, if you have someone who you want us to sort of look into next week, let us know. We're pretty open to whatever. And I'll have a new cast of characters on next week too, and maybe some more announcements about where this is going. So thank you for coming, and have a good night, a good week.
Yeah, man.
Bye.